Hello, boys and girls. Welcome to another episode of Dewbeesnacks. Being bipolar. In other words, I have mental health issues. Now, the discussion we're about to get into hits kind of home for me. Um, a long time ago when I lived in Washington State, me and some buddies, we were all at a campfire, enjoying ourselves, burning trees. BC Bud is awesome. Anyhow, we're just enjoying the night. We're off the shore. We can hear the water hitting, and the fire was blazing away as we were. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, this hairy, all red, hairy thing comes running out of the tree line. And I'm not kidding, this thing had a rock hard penis running out of there. Now, I don't know about you, but when you're sitting around a campfire, blazing up pretty good, and you see a red, hairy, naked thing with a heart on running out of the trees and yelling and running back into the trees at the other side. This is a good 20, 25 feet. There were a lot of things that hit us all that night. We couldn't explain what we had just seen. And we looked around and could not find any clothes. We couldn't find a vehicle other than our own. And we didn't really tell anybody else we were out there. So we were trying to figure out, there weren't a whole lot of houses around that area either. So that hit us, and it has been with me for a long time. And this is my introduction to Dewbeesnacks versus the trifecta of Bigfoot. Now, I can understand that you don't believe me, and that's, hey, we all have our opinions. I just know what I saw. And I know some of the questions are like, well, how'd you know it was like Bigfoot, whatever? Well, Bigfoot or Sasquatch or Yeti. Let's get into this right now. There is a hierarchy among the abominable snowman / Yeti, which is the top of the food chain. Then you've got Sasquatch, more of a bully type. The Sasquatch is a little bit smaller. They're only about 5-6 feet, but they're big size. The abominable Yeti, they're about 10-11 feet and about 1,000 pounds estimated, whatever. Okay, and then you got Bigfoot, which, there's more of the Bigfoot around than anything because they're the little guy, man. They're like, ooh. Oh no, we ran into ape guy. Ooh. But if you run into the Yeti, I'd be like, okay, fetal position, crying my eyes out like a little bitch. It happens. You see something like that, you got to. But I've seen hairy men. I took showers at gym class, We've all seen hairy men. So you get a hairy man size that, I've heard they stink, but the only thing that really stinks is when they mark their territory. That's when it smells really awful. And they don't scream very much because they're pretty much like more intelligent than we are, to be honest, because they're out there and we don't know where. It takes a pretty smart animal to realize that. But people, they're out there. Oh, they are. They really are. You just have to go out and find them. Now I'm going to give you my Matthew McConaughey voice for all you women out there that would like to listen and fall asleep. Man, I love Matthew McConaughey. I don't know why I went from Bigfoot to Matthew McConaughey. I think it was just my voice, but dude, I got to give props. That man is freaking genius. I love everything about him. Props to Matthew McConaughey. I wouldn't throw him out of my bed for eating crackers. Anyway, back to Bigfoot. Now, we on the, I would say, the northwest coast, that is the Sasquatch area. Okay. The Bigfoot basically covers a lot of terrain, including, Tennessee, North Carolina area, where they're pretty big out there. But when you take a look at the actual sightings and you see the footprints that are available, there's only one that I truly like so far, is the actual first one that started it. The ones that were hit in the Himalayas. The Yeti. That one I considered pretty authentic. So, but as for the video they have of that Bigfoot running, no, that was Sasquatch, and they caught him on a bad day. All right, I know who he was. We had partied several times, and he kept telling the story over and over how these dumbass white hunters were running around and all of a sudden interrupted his fun. He had to run away. Man, I don't know. Still, there are issues when it comes to Bigfoot, Sasquatch. And, it's like apples and oranges. They all look alike. No, they don't. Nope. That's just racist towards Bigfoot, man. That's uncalled for. What have they done to you? I don't understand why we got to keep looking for these guys when we don't really want to look for them. Because, well, one, we ain't found them. Two, we know they're real. They were dropped off by the UFOs. I mean, that's how it all started. The one thing I do like about the culture in Tibet is that they do honor the Yeti. That is one thing I really have a lot of respect for in that culture, is that even if it's true or not, whether they believe or not, they honor it. And it's been a part of their culture for centuries. So I have to give Taboo, oh my God, I am high. I gotta give props. God damn. When I talk about Matthew McConaughey, I mean, anywho, back to the Bigfoot. I gotta stop this. All right, let's go in a complete different direction here. My experience with that red-haired something running past into the tree line, that scarred me. And I don't know about you all, but even talking about it, I'm sure if you're hearing it in a weird way, it's done something to you. And I apologize for that, but I can't help but picture a red streak of hair and a hard-on running fast. It's hard to, no, it's difficult to get out of your head. So, the theories you have with all of the big feet, Sasquatch, Yeti thing, you've got UFOs that are dropping them off and that control them. They're basically just going through and giving recon, as it says. Then there's others where they're a part of a prehistoric that's underground in the cave systems out here. There are a ton of cave systems, but then you go into the thoughts of hollow earth. And if you're going to go that direction, then you've got more than just all these ape-like creatures. You've got a whole different world, and you've got a whole different thinking process going on, and you need medication. Then you've got the $6 million man theory, which is basically we created it in a lab and let it loose. Yeah, that one's iffy, but the one thing that I really enjoy about the whole thing about Bigfoot, Yeti, Sasquatch is the community. There are some crazy, wacky people out there that you just want to love, that will tell you stories about Bigfoot, how they come up to the porch and they go and cook them eggs and give them, you don't want to feed them meat. They don't like meat. That hurts their stomach, and that makes them smell a little bit bad. I love those people because they're so true. They love it. Whether they believe it or not, they're going to go with it because it's fun. A lot of myth has that little fun edge to it. In the Bigfoot Sasquatch community, they are truly fun people. And the ideas they have and the stories they come up with. One guy's sheep got impregnated by one. They had to terminate the pregnancy because it almost killed their prize sheep or goat. Yeah, that's a good one too. And then you have the smell. Now there's so many theories about why they smell. If a hairy thing that doesn't take baths walks around, yeah, you're gonna smell. Just ask me after a week of sitting on the couch doing podcasts, rolling out my own cigarettes. Yeah, we tend to stink. But, the thing is they do actually bathe a lot. When I partied with them and everything, I think that one that was running out of the tree line so long ago was trying to take a bath. But we stopped him, and it made him mad. I can't explain the boner, but okay. He might. You never know. So, there are a lot of interesting characters that like to get on film about searching for Bigfoot. Use a motion sensor, and those are fun to watch. They truly are. I mean, you find out new technology and new gadgets that these guys actually put together for these. I mean, these are some very intelligent people believing they're going to find something. Okay? And if that gives them hope in their life, then all hail. I've got t-shirts in there that I support Sasquatch. My favorite one is a purple one with him walking by flipping people off saying, I hate people. I wear that to the doctors a lot, and they start recognizing me because of that shirt. Where I live is thick in Bigfoot country. And we've got celebrations that go on in the town, a town next down to us. They celebrated. They have a weekend where they celebrate Bigfoot. They've got all kinds of different people and specialists and famous people from where they do the searching. They make a big deal about it, and it's fun to watch. It brings money into the county and the state as well, and That's one of the things I really enjoy about here is that the county is very supportive of things of that in nature. And we were actually in the news about a year ago about a statue that they're going to take out of the racist deal with the statues. Yeah, they were going to take one out, and it was about time because it was. It's a bad social situation. So, all in all, Bigfoot is not only a myth, but or legend, however you want to state that, but it's also a growing fondness. We don't understand him. Why should we? It's like Jesus. All right, we don't understand him. All we know is what is in the books, but that's all we got. But we love him anyway. Okay, so why not Bigfoot? Same theory, right? Oh, and the funny thing is this conversation is going to go a little haywire because I've been called a conspiracy theorist. Thank you. I'd like to thank the Academy because being a conspiracy theorist means I'm actually doing something right. Because all in all, everyone, listen and understand. With the calming of my voice, I will tell you that we are all conspiracy theorists. Why? Why? Well, Dewbeesnacks, would you tell us why? Sure, I will. Okay, now, in our minds, which we all have our own individual thought. So, a lot of things in our lives are theories until proven fact. Okay? So, conspiracy theories, basically, you're going to judge someone. So you're already a part of a conspiracy. You're bringing up theories. You're thinking of bad things, good things, whatever. They're all theories until proven fact. We all are conspiracy theorists. Whether we believe in one thing or another, it doesn't matter. Somebody else is completely thinking differently than you. So that would, and if you've got a friend who tells you that doesn't matter, humans are fallible. Ain't that right, girl? Humans are fallible. So it does not matter who or what they think of you. It doesn't matter. Be you. I believe, because I've seen Bigfoot. Oh, actually it was Sasquatch, but, I'm going with Bigfoot because it's easier to say. I've dealt with Bigfoot. A naked, hard-on running redhead. Boom! And then I've seen footage that, like I said, my buddy, he got caught doing something he shouldn't have been doing, and he got caught running away. They got lucky with that footage. But all in all, it doesn't matter, folks. Bigfoot is real in my heart. So are a lot of other things in my heart. Because it gives you hope. It gives you something to actually think about and wonder about. And not just sit there and be a bump on a log. Some of us don't have the ability to get out and get out into the real world. Some of us have these mental issues that are stopping us, taking away that motivation. But if there is something out there that gives you a little bit of hope, a little bit of guidance, something for you to enjoy with other people, whether it's online, FaceTime, neighborhood, community. We all need that. So, if you believing that there is a Bigfoot and you letting the world know that you know and you understand that it's up to the individual to believe, there you go. You might spread it, pay it forward, let other people enjoy Bigfoot. Even if it's not real, even if it is, it doesn't matter. You're sitting there talking about, you're like they did in the old days. You're sitting around a campfire talking about legends of lore, looking up at the stars, realizing that the connection that we have with humanity starts with a simple story. All our lives are nothing but a book of stories, man. So, here's mine. I have partied with big hairy people. They exist. If you want to call them Bigfoot, Sasquatch, Yeti, Dewbeesnacks, I don't care. As long as you enjoy yourself and realize that who you are, Bigfoot. I'm Bigfoot. Everybody that knows me knows I'm Bigfoot. Alright, guys. Dewbeesnacks calling out. Peace out, guys. And remember, if you run into Bigfoot, make sure it's not the redhead. I don't know where he's at, but hopefully soon he'll come back to me. Peace out.